This podcast is sponsored by The Forward. Stay up to date with unlimited access to news, culture, and opinion all through a Jewish lens. And for our listeners, for 2NJB listeners, get 6 months of The Forward for only $10. That's 67% off. An exclusive subscription offer for our listeners, forward.com/2NJB, and get 6 months for $10. Also in collaboration with Arutz Sheva, IsraelNationalNews.com. And last but not least, in collaboration with Australian Jewish News, check them out at ajn.timesofisrael.com.
And here we go. Hello. Wait, why can't I hear you? Oh, you were
That's
on
me.
mute.
Oh, I can't. You just want to cut me out. I see. Okay.
So we're in a bit of a rush, right?
Yeah.
Why?
I gotta go make latkes, man. It's Hanukkah, bitches. I gotta make latkes. A man's gotta make latkes.
Yes, that is true. A man has got to make latkes. That's
That's
the old Steve McQueen quote, I think.
No, I think it was Big Van Dyke. Not Big Van Dyke. Van Damme.
Ah,
Van Damme.
Van Damme, yeah.
Van Damme said it.
Yeah, he said it first. Chuck Norris
drinking.
doesn't make latkes.
No.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
This is very, very posh. We're drinking red wine. Some would say posh. Others would say gay.
We already had this
yes?
discussion a year ago.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
This
what's
is
up?
a recap.
Yes, this is the guys. If this is the first time you're tuning in to the Two Nice Jewish Boys podcast, this is the monthly.
We apologize.
Yes, it doesn't get any better.
It doesn't. It's all downhill from here.
Yes.
Welcome. This is our monthly recap.
Yes, which leads to the first topic, guys. We were wondering. Let us know what you think. Should we do this weekly?
Yeah, we're thinking of doing a weekly recap.
Yes.
Actually, we're thinking also changing it from a recap in which we recap the events of the past to a prophetic episode where we foresee the events of the future. So if you'd like to basically get a weekly report on what is going to happen next week, let us know. I think there's demand for that, right?
Yeah.
No, but in all seriousness, we want to do a weekly recap. Let us know if you think it's a good idea.
Yeah, hit us up just on Messenger, Facebook, email, whatever, and let us know if you'd like this to be a weekly thing. And if you do, the local, your city psychiatrist is indisposed.
We refer you
yes.
to a shrink.
So it's a historic day.
It is.
Today, the first shipment of the Pfizer vaccines landed in Israel.
So I heard that we ordered a total of weird number 6 million.
I think it's Moderna vaccines is 6 million.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not touching those Moderna vaccines. They sold us 6 million of them.
But the 6 million is for 3 million people because you need 2 doses.
Need 2? Oh, okay. That's safe.
So,
okay,
yeah.
That's cool.
I just debunked your...
Yeah. I thought it was...
So the vaccines are here, and it's happening.
Are you going to get vaccinated?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I said yes last time we spoke about this, and you were like, well, it's not so simple.
But I since read and educated myself.
And
sir,
educate us, please.
And okay, so here's the thing.
Do tell, yes.
Okay, so here's how it is. And what I'm about to say is the whole truth. And anything
the whole
else,
truth, and nothing but the truth.
And anything else that you hear is false, because I am the only one who knows what he says in the entire world.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. First of all, those RNA vaccines, right? What they do, they change a small segment of your RNA. Now, the thing is, the virus also, all the viruses change your RNA, right? So your RNA is being changed all the time by all kinds of things. So it's not really, and in the vaccine, it's less of a change than viruses do, and specifically the coronavirus does, right? So here the change is minor, really minor, and it evaporates like the whole effect of the whole substance, the whole RNA changing thingy. It evaporates within 2 days. So really, there is the risk is so low, as opposed to the risk of getting COVID and suffering from long-term effects for COVID. Even if you're a healthy young man, those are like tens and hundreds of times higher, the chances, than anything would happen to you from the vaccine. So
what are the risks of the vaccine?
there aren't any.
There are none? They
Risks?
said there were risks.
No. There are some minor, mild side effects,
Yeah.
but no, there are no risks. Like, they tested them on tens of thousands of people, and the nice thing is that by the time we get vaccinated, which hopefully will be in a month, but more realistically maybe 2 or 3 months, hundreds of thousands and millions of people in the UK, in America, will already have been vaccinated.
But
Right.
could there be long-term side effects, and like all these millions of
Not
people
really.
will drop dead 20 years from
No,
now?
no,
from
no.
the corona vaccine?
No, because
Sounds the stuff of conspiracy.
No. Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay.
It's not gonna happen. But as opposed to coronavirus's long-term effects, which are pretty bad, and we don't know even how worse it gets within time. So really, if you just do risk assessment,
Yeah.
there's no reason not to get vaccinated. And I just want to go to Italy so bad. So I'm thinking like, I get the vaccination, I get approved, and then I jump on a plane and go to Italy
Boom.
and disappear.
So is it like provided by the healthcare providers here in Israel?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I
you
think
get it.
you'll get a link to your phone. You can just pick a date. And you
Get
pick two
vaccinated.
dates because right, you need a 21-day like gap between the vaccines, and you come and you get vaccinated in your local
It is kind of crazy though, right? To take a vaccine that, like, the flu shot is something happens every year, but it's always a different one, right?
The
so
flu shot
technically
is
you're getting
50% or 50 or 60%
less effective.
effect. No, its efficiency is 50-60%.
Mm-hmm.
And this vaccine is 95%. So the gap is spectacular. Like, the achievement, the achievement here is just phenomenal. With
Yeah.
the RNA.
How quickly they made it, and how quickly
Yeah.
they got it past the regulatory.
And I read this fascinating article, guys. I don't know how you can read it, but I'll try to find it and put a link, where they explained that the initial, like, the breakthrough, the title of the article is "We had the vaccine in January." So as early as January, they already had it.
But they had to basically jump through loops of FDA approval
And test it and develop
test it,
it.
yeah.
But in the future, like, they will learn from this process, and in the future they'll be more efficient in their how they react. But it's crazy. So within a month they already had a solution. That's how it's so nice sometimes to
It's
live
also
in.
kind of sad though, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
wonder how much.
Lives
What
would
the
have been-
effect would have been if they used that solution in January? If it was how risky it would have been? What could have been the potential, risks basically?
Yeah.
And how much it improved over the 11 months since, right?
Yeah.
I wonder, that would be really interesting
Yeah.
to kind of take it and analyze it from a medical perspective. I mean,
But it's nice to live in the 21st century sometimes, right? Like, think if this virus would hit upon our grandparents or grandparents,
yeah.
it would be so much worse. So
Yeah.
here we suffered for a year, and now, I'm very optimistic. So I'm gonna get vaccinated. You? Did I convince you?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm getting a flu shot also, which seems almost like
you're taking the flu shot?
meaningless. Yeah, I think at the end of the month, like in 2 weeks or so.
Mm.
So it's funny because when I was like asked if I want to get a flu shot, because where I work, they provide it basically. A lot of companies provide flu
Really?
shots here in Israel. Yeah. So they asked, and I was like, yeah, I guess. Even though it seemed like, it's like the flu. What's that again?
Yeah, actually nowadays I think because everyone's wearing the mask and people stay at home, the risk of getting the flu is so much.
Yeah.
It's much
lower.
less,
Yeah,
much
yeah.
lower. But yeah, you can take. Yeah,
Who knows?
who knows?
So the question is,
Yes.
will we be...
What will come first?
Will we be, the vaccine or the elections? Will we be voting in Corona again? Will there be another election during
Yeah.
Corona?
The date right now is March 16th
Yeah.
for the upcoming elections in Israel, 4th in 2 years.
Wow.
And that is because essentially the government isn't nothing's moving. Everything's stuck.
Well, it's a dispute over the budget.
Yes,
Right?
but just
There's even a clause that talks about
the agreement between
the
Bibi's
agreement
party
between blue
and
and
guns.
white, yeah.
But that's just it's just a symptom of the disease. It's not the actual thing. Like the actual thing is,
that Bibi wants re-elections. He wants a way out.
yes, but it's even deeper than that, right?
Is it?
I don't know. I think those two parties, like the whole idea
Yeah.
of mutually, I don't know, how do you call it, the unity government,
Yeah.
the whole concept of it, the partition government, as they called it, this partitioned government in which was President Rivlin's idea, which basically put us all in the mess we're at, because the concept was like when the left and the right form a government, each get half of the ministers, regardless of its actual size. So right now,
Get half of the minute, but they also invented a bunch of ministries.
because
It was
of,
like-
that's
yeah.
why, because they
Each
had
got 18, I think.
they had to
36
invent new
ministries.
ministers because of that partitioned government concept,
Yeah.
where they initially said this one's
That's
mine.
yours.
Yes.
You said I couldn't get the flu. Watch me.
So
they had to add ministries because of the partition.
yeah,
So you're
the
saying
idea is-
that's it was rotten to the core from the beginning.
yes.
Why?
Because you can't take a party of 13 people, which is Gantz's party, right, and give it half the power in a government of 70 members of Knesset.
Why not?
Because it's never been done. Always you always
Yeah,
get
but where does it
ministers.
run into the problem? Why does it?
It gives them more power in the government than they actually have in electorates.
Yeah, but
in
once the
mandates.
election happens, then it's up to politicians to manage their interactions. So why is it? How come?
In the end of the day,
it was an agreement that was signed. So how come
Yes,
it
the
came?
agreement is faulty. It's not good. Like it's based on bad ideas. The idea that there are two partitions to this government, right? The right wing and the left wing.
Yeah,
So
but
the
it
right
doesn't
wing-
matter. I mean, agreement doesn't dissolve because it's a bad agreement. When you have a bad agreement, then one side might get screwed, and the other side maybe has a better side of the agreement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So blue and white maybe got the better side of the agreement.
Yes, and
But-
they
But it
don't
doesn't
have
matter.
the numbers.
But it doesn't matter. It's an agreement. So the question then is,
It's not really an agreement, though.
What do you mean it's not an agreement?
It's not an agreement, man. That's the thing.
It's not legally binding.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not an agreement. It's just it's just a list
it's an agreement. It's not legally binding.
So it begs
It
the
is.
question.
It is actually in a way legally binding because you can dissolve the government, right? Based on it.
But that's it. You can't enforce anything almost about it. So is it an agreement really?
I think
You
it
know?
was.
It's not like the agreement we
politics.
signed on,
Yeah.
in which you're mine for the eternity.
That's true. That's true. I sold my soul to the devil. But I don't know. It's politics, so it doesn't. It seems to me like you're right that there's no. It's not legal, right? I don't know. Maybe can Blue and White sue the Likud for not sticking to the agreement? It's recording. Don't worry.
No, but is it? I think
No,
it's
not recording.
no, it's doing the other thing,
The time lapse.
the time lapse. Yeah,
So do I press?
yeah. You stop the recording, you move it to regular
Guys,
video
this
mode.
is the kind of stuff that you will get on a weekly basis.
Another one. Oh, that's
There
it.
we go.
Go.
There we go.
Nice. I caught it
Just in time.
Just in time.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, I don't know if Blue and White can sue the Likud for maybe not standing in civil court, for not holding to an agreement that they signed. Maybe that's something that they can do.
They can't.
They can't?
No,
How come?
because the agreement isn't a real agreement.
Okay, so I don't know what, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what the legal ramifications or if there are any. But in the end, it's politics. So it's a bunch of opportunistic people who sign into this agreement. Bibi saw an opportunity to continue being prime minister.
Yeah,
Now he's backing out because he wants to continue to be prime minister.
He wants to continue to be prime minister, but that's not all. He also wants a functioning government.
Yeah, but if come on. So he didn't know that it was going to be It was a bad agreement in which half of the power was given to a party that had.
I can't explain it.
Less than half of the mandates that the Likud had, and he didn't know what he was getting into.
At the time, it seemed.
It seemed necessary.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what went through.
I think it seemed like the best option to prolong his premiership, which is fine. I don't have a
Right.
problem with someone acting in self-interest, in politics.
But
Obviously,
in
if
the
you
end
do
of the
things
day-
illegally, then that's problematic.
My point
But-
is, like, regardless of the actual agreement, the government hasn't been functioning it's been existing for a year, and the most basics of things are not happening. Like, we don't have chief of police for almost more than 2 years, right? They can't decide on who's going to be the chief of police. They
Yeah.
can't decide on anything. They can't work together.
Yeah.
They just can't. So so we're going to elections, and yesterday you had
Now, is it official?
No,
Like that's
no,
it? It's happening?
because yesterday you had this huge event where Gideon Saar, who is Bibi's nemesis in the Likud party,
he's leaving the Likud, right?
he's leaving the Likud, which is a big deal. Like, he is the flesh of the Likud, like flesh and blood of the Likud. He's been in the Likud for decades, and he's been a minister, and he's one of Bibi's biggest rivals. And he said, I had enough, because the thing is, he never, like, although he's very high up in the list of the Likud, he never got a minister job from Bibi because they despise each other.
Yeah.
And this old saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So Bibi doesn't
Abide
by that. Yeah. So is it good or bad? Time will tell. Right.
Yeah.
Right now, it seems maybe it would be better if he would give him a ministry job and keep him close.
Yeah.
So he decided to break out of the Likud and form his own party. And just a few minutes ago, they showed 3 polls where his party gets like 15 mandates.
Yeah, but that's always the case.
Even in the
right?
end, he gets 8 mandates. It's still critical, because the real problem is, here's the risk for Bibi, right?
Yeah.
He needs 61 seats, right, guys? Because we have in the parliament, we have 120 seats. And you need 61 seats to form a coalition and form a government. And Lieberman, who's a right-wing party, he will not sit with Bibi. And he always gets 5, 6, 7 mandates.
Uh-huh.
So it leaves a very small margin for Bibi to get 61. Very small. And if Saar breaks out and he takes some mandates from the Likud with him, there's a good chance Netanyahu won't have 61. He needs to be
basically
61.
you
Him,
have-
the Haredi parties,
Yeah.
who usually bring like 14, 15 mandates together. And Bennett, now here's the thing. Bennett, the Yamina party, he's now in the opposition, right?
Mhm.
Bibi didn't bring him into the government, so he's vengeful. And there's literally no reason for him to join Bibi after the next elections, and he's doing also very good in the polls. So in theory, you could have a government of Bennett, Lapid, Saar, Gantz, and Lieberman. 61.
Sounds pretty awful.
Well, it is what it is. Look, for seculars in Israel, a government without the Haredi is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's not a bad. Many people long for it.
It's a pretty down the middle coalition, which is
pretty right wing. Pretty right wing coalition.
I don't know if it's right wing. I don't know if you can call Gantz and Lapid.
They'll be the
right
left.
Wing.
The
definitely
left.
not Lieberman. Maybe on national security you can call him right wing,
but not in economy. No,
not in economics. So it's a down the middle party, which is good for keeping the status quo.
But the attempt to bring down Bibi will be so big, right?
But I think that's the problem.
Reach.
I think that's the problem is that the effort to bring down Bibi has only come close to success when it's been consolidated. And when it's factioned, when it's broken up, right? When there's not a united front against him, it's really hard.
Yeah, it is hard because each of them want to be prime minister. Like Lapid wants to be the prime minister, Saar wants to be the prime minister, Bennett wants to be the prime minister, Lapid, Bogi, Alon, Gantz, they all want to be the prime minister.
I think
so
it's
how
actually
they can decide.
Bibi himself. He's much better at the Roman divide imperium, right? Is like divide and conquer. Fredum show. Like Bibi is very good at that. He's good at managing like several different people or several different, even a bunch of different factions that are trying to bring him down, right? He can kind of divide them and make it work.
Arab Joint List,
yeah,
right? You want to tell the story? No,
because I don't know it.
Okay. So we have the Arab Joint List, guys, which is like all the Arab parties united to one big list because they changed the threshold a few years ago. So in order to the Arabs to get into the parliament, they had to unite, right?
Yeah.
So it's formed from a bunch of parties, Hadash, Ra'am, Tal, all kinds of Arab parties. And Bibi made an ally out of one of these parties. Abbas Mansour, his name is, the leader of that party. And they've been collaborating. And this Mansour guy, like he said, he'll even vote for Bibi. He'll do anything Bibi says, essentially, if he gets what he wants, which is a pretty cool like approach for Arab politicians here in Israel, because
something unprecedented.
Yeah, because he basically says, I care for my people. Like if I can get shit done for my people, like giving funds, getting laws passed. So what do I care about? Like allying myself with anyone. Mm-hmm. It's very programmatic.
I'm assuming they're the least radical of all the Arab parties.
They aren't. No, they're pretty radical. That's the thing. Yeah, they're pretty radical.
It's Ram.
It's Ram, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
So or Ram or Tal, I don't remember, but Ram. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. And it's being a whole, like, and the other Arab politicians are going crazy. Crazy. And the Arab Joint List is going to break up because of that. And Bibi's like the main architect of that.
And then when the list breaks up, right, then it's like...
some might not pass the threshold.
Yeah, some might not pass the threshold, and everything falls through the cracks, and you kind of dissolve the whole thing. And he's really good at that.
Yeah,
and I think that when you have this like Bennett, Gantz, Lapid, Lieberman, Saar, it's not going to work. They're not going to be coordinated enough.
That's the big question. Yeah. But then again, also if he doesn't have the 61, he's also in problems. So it's going to be chaotic.
Yeah.
And this is why maybe
should we already start talking about election number 5?
No, I'm saying maybe he eventually he'll find a solution with Gantz and won't go to election because of that, and also because the economy here has been pretty bad because of all the lockdowns.
He sees what happened to Trump.
Yes, which brings us to the lockdown debacle.
Yeah. Well, apparently, I shouldn't be here. No. Starting tomorrow, right? Starting tomorrow, I shouldn't be here.
Who knows, right? Yesterday we thought today won't happen because yesterday they said they're gonna do a night lockdown starting today, but then they changed their minds.
They basically couldn't get it passed, right? They weren't able to last second get their shit together and decide what to even do, so they changed it. Now they're thinking about passing a rule in which you're not allowed to be in someone else's home past 7:30. Is it
5:30?
5:30?
Yeah.
Home though, only a home.
Home. Yeah.
Okay.
In the office, somebody else's office, you can be. In his clinic.
So if this is your office.
If you're having a love affair with someone at his clinic, you're good.
You're good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
In the dentist clinic.
You can visit people at their farms, in their barns,
attics,
in their wineries, but not at their home.
No. But the thing is, I think I just read the headline, but the thing is, like, they don't call it curfew, right? They just call it don't be at someone else's place. But it's harder. Like, the thing is, it's when you do a curfew, right? If you're driving somewhere, the cop stops you and he's like, hey, where you going? Go turn back, right? But if you're just saying you can't be at someone's home, then what it means is it means nothing. Yeah,
if
nobody
you actually want to enforce it,
and nobody will do that. So what it means, it's just
there
a
was
charade.
talk of that happening earlier, right? That they would start doing house visits.
Yeah, but they can't really do that. So it seems like it's chaotic, and they opened all the shopping malls.
Yeah.
And some conspiracy theorists said because of Sao's declaration yesterday. They opened the shopping malls, right? Because
okay. They want to kill off his voters?
No.
What?
Just, because it threatens Bibi, right? So, and too many things threaten him because people are mad at the economy. People are mad on the lockdowns. People are mad on this and that.
So they opened it.
So
to
they opened it to opium for the masses. Right?
Okay, yeah. Alleviate the pain.
Yeah.
God, it's just a mess, man.
It's been
what? I'm not voting. I've decided because I've thought about it, right? And we've talked about the fact that I'm not going to vote Bibi, but I think about it more and more, and I just don't think there's anybody sane out there anymore. It's like,
what about Bennett?
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's gonna be any better. And if you say that he's going against, if he's gonna align himself with the likes of Lieberman and Lapid, I really don't like Lapid. Then it's gonna be hard for me to vote for him. Maybe I'll just vote Feiglin again. I'll just put an empty ballot in. So it's gonna be a tough one. If there is another election, it's mostly going to be tough to try and care, right? At this point,
we're so apathic by now.
Yeah,
right?
you're so indifferent. Like, it's happened so many times, nothing changes. You're like, why?
Yeah.
I might start voting like the Arab Joint List. Just because.
Maybe just for this Mansour Abbas guy. If he runs separately. That's going to be so underground.
I'll just, I'm going to put all my, I'll see if they need help out in the campaign. I'll campaign with Ram.
Yeah. What's going on in the States in the meantime?
So.
Is the whole Texas suing the federal government thing, is that a thing, or is that like a
no, I don't know. What are you talking about?
I read in those right-wing websites that a bunch of red states are suing the blue states for fraud.
Really?
Yeah.
I know that
the actual states.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that Trump is leading a bunch of legal battles, but I don't know about.
He used to be very knowledgeable about it.
Yeah, I stopped reading about it. I'm just waiting to see what happens.
Yeah. So what I read, I don't know if it's true. I mean, I guess maybe it's not, but that actual like Texas and Nevada, no, I don't know about Nevada, but Texas and the Mississippi and all those states sued the blue states, and essentially they say like, if the elections were fraudulent, like it affects us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because so we deserve to be sure, but I don't know if it actually happened, or maybe it's just.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to see.
I was counting on you to enlighten me,
but there is a lot of like apparently interesting footage of all kinds of stuff happening in the polling stations. But I just don't. Still don't see it happening. But I don't know.
It went under the radar here, but there was just a ruling here about the first elections 2 years ago in March 2019, I think, or April. That the Likud got an extra seat.
Which would have basically
no, because it's from Shas or from another, for a Haredi party.
Okay.
It moved in the right wing like cluster.
Okay, I see.
But still, it's like, because there have been so many complaints about fraudulent.
It was from the Haredi polling stations, basically. It moved from the Haredi to the Likud.
Yes, but not because of Haredi fraud necessarily. It's like, it's very complicated, the math. Like it could derive from other fraudulent places, like Arab cities too, because if you rule out an entire city, then everything changes. The whole math changes.
There's thresholds. And then there's also a certain law that governs the surplus votes.
Yes. So anyway, after 2 years, the court finally ruled that that indeed Likud deserved. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna, like, in retrospect, give it's worth a lot lot of money, because you get funding for
every mandate you have for the campaign.
Mandate. Yes, so it's pretty, but it's,
so they're getting what, 300,000 shekels now?
No, 300,000 is in the city council.
No, I thought it was 300,000 per.
No, it's millions. It's millions
what?
and millions. Yeah, it's millions
for each mandate.
Yeah,
you get millions and millions for what? For the campaign?
For the party. The party gets millions of shekels for each.
No, okay. I know there's something about like each Knesset member, serving Knesset member, gets a fund, of 300,000 to campaign.
So no, I think the party gets the money, but the Knesset member gets, like, he's in the Knesset, he gets lots of benefits, and also the guy who was supposed to be a Knesset member needs to be compensated because of that, because he wasn't a Knesset member, right? So it's but it just goes to show that we do. I don't know about America, but here you most certainly have problems with elections.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's a mess.
It's a mess. It's a mess. So what do you think about Biden wants to?
So what is he doing? I don't know anything today. Okay, you're just gonna be telling me stories.
They say he's gonna stop. He's gonna
cancel student loans.
Cancel student loans, like
for
what do you
all
mean?
Students?
I don't know.
He's gonna cancel student debt.
Yeah, the debt.
So
he's gonna go and
that's
he's gonna be
confused.
he's gonna be like.
Yeah. There's been talk in the Democratic Party for a while about canceling all student debt. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's ridiculous. It's just why?
I can't believe it.
It's like,
you oppose this?
Yeah, no, it's just ridiculous. But you owe him money now. You don't owe him money
because we pay for it from our secret.
Yeah.
Depository.
So first of all,
money.
I doubt, like,
you should hold this pen more often. It makes it look so serious.
I want it to be a laser pointer, though. I need a laser pointer.
Yes.
But one, it's not gonna be a simple thing to do. There's probably hundreds of millions of dollars of student debt out there, if not more.
But what do you make of the student debts in general?
I mean, a student decides to take out a loan, then he has to pay it.
But
isn't that like I thought that was like one of the basics, like thou shalt not steal. Like you gave me money and you were like, hey, you're gonna give me this money back, and then I'm like,
but why is education in America so expensive though?
I mean, that's a discussion that can be had about, academic inflation and whether or not people need all the degrees that they're going. I think it's a sign of a thriving economy and a thriving society when people go and study. I think there's just a high demand for education, and then education becomes expensive, right?
But there are so many places you can go and study, right? So why is it so expensive? Why isn't there competition?
No, there are. Not all of the places that you can go and study cost $40,000 a year. I mean, Harvard is $50,000 a year, but you don't have to spend you can spend $10,000 and get a degree.
Like where your parents taught, how much is a degree? Call your mom.
Where my dad was a professor in the United States at UAB. I'm not sure. I think it was around $15,000, $20,000.
Put him on the line
a year.
And ask him.
Yeah.
Surprise phone call.
Call a friend. Call a family member. No, so I think that it's probably around $15,000-$20,000 a year.
How much do you pay now for your degree in the Open University of Losers?
So I don't pay much, actually. I was supposed to get it for free, but I end up paying the tax because my dad is in academia.
Oh.
Yeah, but in Israel, like higher education is much cheaper.
A BA is don't do that.
It's subsidized by the
it's subsidized.
government.
So it costs like, I don't know, 2,500 shekels a year for a BA.
Yeah, but it doesn't cost 2,500 shekels because you're paying for it.
Yes, I know.
I like that's the great thing about taxes is you can take as much money as you want from people and then be like, look, everything's free.
But in the colleges, it's not subsidized, and there the prices are like
40,000 shekels.
Yeah, which is like 10,000
bucks.
Yeah, which is still cheap in American terms, I guess.
Yeah, but you have some of the best universities in the world in America. I mean, Harvard, Yale.
But do you really need, like, it depends what you want to do. But let's say today to be in high tech, do you really need, like, to be a good programmer, you don't really need to go there, right?
You don't have to. I mean, so the thing is, a lot of people will tell you that in the States you need a degree in order to to get a job. I don't think that that's necessarily true. You don't really need a degree, but maybe I'm wrong. I haven't looked for too many jobs in the States, but I don't think that it's that necessary. You could just get probably a basic degree, teach yourself, like a cheap degree, let's say, and teach yourself programming and be fine. So you don't need to go to Harvard to succeed. You don't need to go to one of the state the UCLA
Ivy
or
League.
whatever, Ivy Leagues, or any of the expensive universities.
Mm-hmm.
You can go and get a degree, and it's on you if you decide to take out $200,000 in student debt.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to cancel it. It's those populist, it's what the Democratic Party thrives on.
Yeah.
We'll give you free
You make
stuff.
AOC happy.
Yeah. And all our constituents.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. I doubt that they're going to do it, but maybe I'm wrong.
Right.
I just usually they promise these things and then they don't actually fulfill them.
Right. So, like, the peace in the Middle East has been thriving.
Yeah.
Yeah, people, like, it seems from the Twitter feed, it seems like everyone's in Dubai.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. Like, people are going there, you have all the journalists are there. It's pretty, and now it's hilarious. Like, now so here's the thing, guys. We can't go abroad, right? We can't go anywhere except for Dubai. And so now all the tourism companies are, I don't know if you saw it, but they're marketing these Hanukkah trips to Dubai, and they manufacture the most hilarious posters with all the Mizrahi singers, right? And the you go. It has on the poster like you go and ride camels, right? And you have karaoke's and meals and everything. Like you have posters with all the attractions. Hanukkah in Dubai, and the prices are really cheap, like 2,000 shekels for a person, and so it's pretty funny. But there was a very funny incident a week ago where because Emirates can come here too. So a bunch of Arabs from like Palestinian Israelis from Kfar Qasem, which is a city here in Israel.
Dressed up.
They dressed up like Emirates with the white dresses and everything, and they just strolled through Tel Aviv and took selfies with people. And people thought they're Emirates. And suddenly they were like, as opposed to if they were like just Arabs strolling in Rothschild, and people would
have crossed the street to the other side,
like report the police, like and ride their wheels.
But they came also in these expensive cars.
Yeah.
They did look like Emiratis.
Yeah.
They looked like they came straight out of Dubai.
And
Like
there's
they drove
also
here.
a very peculiar story about Beitar Yerushalayim.
Yeah. They
So
got bought apparently, right?
So here's the thing, though.
Okay.
Okay, so there's this soccer team here, the most.
One of the big national teams. It's
Yeah.
it's the team of Jerusalem. It's Jerusalem's big team, basically.
If you want to know more about it, watch the documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, we had the director here, Maya Zinstein.
What's it called? The documentary?
Pure.
Forever Pure.
Forever Pure. Yeah.
So anyway, so it's owned by this millionaire, Moshe Chogeg. And he's been looking for a partner for a while now. And the thing is, now we signed with the Emirates, you can do business with them. So apparently he found a sheikh who was willing to buy in, and he bought 50%. But the thing is, though, there are some people on Twitter, like Arab people, like Israelis who specialize in Arab media, who speak Arabic and stuff, who claim that this sheikh who bought, and this was a huge news item here in Israel, right? You had headlines, an Emirati sheikh bought half of
Beitar,
Beitar
Jerusalem,
and the
yeah.
peace, the fruits of peace.
Now the thing is, they're infamous Beitar
For hating
Jerusalem for
Arabs.
being racist.
Yeah.
Not only Arabs, but just being generally racist.
Yeah.
And there's obviously discussion about it's not the entire fan base. It's
Yeah.
just a small group of extreme fans.
Yeah.
But always at their games they have pretty inciting signs, and they're provocative, and they
So the problem is, some people did some research and they found out that this sheikh, nobody knows in the actual Emirates, nobody knows who he is. He's pretty obscure. His past is pretty obscure. He represents himself as a sheikh, but the deal had no, like the media in the actual Emirates, they didn't cover that deal.
coverage.
The guy, if you ask about him in the Emirates, nobody knows who he is, which, like,
Well, isn't that just the deal in the Emirates? Like,
no, the sheikhs
they're all
are,
just sheikhs. They're all sheikhs. No, it's not like a population.
not really,
of
because he
sheikhs.
claims he's part of the royal family, blah, 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 and, like,
They're all
he's-
part of the royal family. No.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's pretty, there are some question marks there. So think if he's like he might be like an Iranian
spy.
who...
And that's his way. That's a pretty bad way to kind of just like inconspicuously work your way into
He wrecks
Israeli
havoc
society.
here, and...
Yeah, what havoc is he wreaking? Like, people are confused. Some Iranian general is like, yes,
Success!
mission achieved.
Yeah, I don't know. But I thought it was pretty funny. Like, there was a
Yeah.
whole Twitter post about it.
I wonder how the fans are going to react. I mean, they're probably not too happy about it,
Yeah.
right? They're probably going to protest in some way.
Yeah.
Although I heard that they're not too upset about it because they're like, as long as it's supportive of Israel and whatever, then it's fine that they're.
Yeah. No, like, we love Emirates now. It's a huge
They're
love
our,
affair.
they're our best friends.
Yeah.
We've been friends for we go way back.
Yeah. It's been really warm.
All the way back to Abraham.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
pretty historic times. So before we go, guys, if you made it thus far, then you are lucky because you are going to get Eitan's latke recipe.
Yes.
You can say recipe in certain parts of the world. In the UK, you say recipe.
Like dark corners where no one hears you.
Guys, if you say recipe, please hit us up. And
I don't think anybody says recipe.
yes, it's
We've had this conversation as
insane.
well.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no recipe. There's only recipe.
I'm gonna ask a New Zealandy friend about that. So the recipe.
New Zealander. No,
Yes.
I'm kidding. Anyway, so
What's the secret?
The recipe for my latkes is,
Love.
first of all, you got to put on some Barry White. No, so you the recipe is pretty simple. Okay, good latkes is really simple. You want potatoes.
Yes.
You want onion.
The red ones or the white ones?
If you're in the States, you want to get russet tomatoes. Russet tomatoes are the
Tomatoes?
potatoes. Russet potatoes are really they don't have much starch, so they're basically they're better for making fries and fried potato stuff.
Okay.
So you want to get the russet ones, but if you aren't in the States, then you're here, just get the it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
They're the same. You get potatoes, onion, matzah meal, which is like matzah flour,
Okay.
crushed up matzah, salt, pepper, and an egg. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you grate the potatoes, you grate the onions. Okay. And now what you need to do is you soak both of them. So if you have like gauze right, which is like that, or there's also like a special type of kitchen cloth, but you can just use paper towels or you can use a towel, and you just wrap like a part of the grated potatoes, because they're going to be really soaked because there's a lot of liquid in them, and you just squeeze out all the liquid so it's dry. You do that to all the potatoes, all the onions, and now you have just dry grated onions and dry grated potatoes. You mix that together with matzah meal, with some salt, with some pepper, and with egg, and you get it all right.
Yeah.
You get it all in there.
Substancy.
Yeah, you want it to be like so that the meal sticks together, right? The batter basically sticks together but doesn't fall apart.
Right. Like a meatball.
Not like a meatball. You don't want it that consistency. You want it like a batter consistency, like almost like pancake batter.
Okay.
But that it sticks together. You don't want it so that you're holding it in it. You can make patties out of it. If you've ever made like fish patties, then you want to do it like that consistency. Okay. And then you just fry them up, man. Fry them up in some olive oil.
But you eat sweet or salty latkes?
So you can do both. The best is with both. You have the latkes, right? Just like
but if you put onion, it can't be sweet latke.
Oh, you make a mistake. You make a mistake, my friend.
You make mistake, my friend.
Yes.
You mistake.
The onion, you have to have the onion in there. But onion can be, are you kidding? If you grill onion, right?
It's sweet.
It gets sweet.
Right.
Onion's sweet. So you put the onion in there. Don't listen to Noah. You put the onion.
Pepper with the sweetness?
Yeah, you put the pepper in too. What you do at the end is you make applesauce and you have sour cream. Applesauce is really simple. Just fry up those apples until they're mush with a little bit of brown sugar.
Buy applesauce.
Or buy applesauce. But if you make home fresh applesauce, it's there's no better thing. And then it's like, you have to let it cool down, but it's perfect. And then you put the sour cream and the applesauce and the latkes together. It's
orgasmic.
It's just wow. It's just wow.
And guys, and you realize that when I go to Eitan, he makes me salad.
And an omelet. I make you an omelet.
Just goes to show.
That's not true. Last time we had bolognese.
No, last time we had salad.
Okay, we had whatever. The time before that we had ragu,
which I made.
You helped make. Come to my house, you help cook.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, thank you, sir. Guys, if you made Eitan's latkes, please
send us pics.
Put it on your story. Tag us.
Yes.
And the one who makes the best one wins. And you will get a picture of Eitan's bare nipple.
No, you won't. Do not listen to this man. That's not happening.
I have one at my disposal, and I will send it to you without him knowing.
I thought you had a bare nipple of mine at your disposal. I was like, what? Give me that nibble back.
When you were sleeping on the couch, I casted one. And,
Okay, I see.
and made one. So
Now, you'll get, if you agree, if you win, you will get a fresh latkes of mine shipped to you in the mail after 14 days.
It will be fresh when we
of-
send it.
Yes.
we cannot
can't guarantee how it'll arrive.
We'll send it with some vaccines in minus 70
Yeah,
degrees Celsius,
exactly.
and then it'll hold
Then you just
perfectly.
microwave it.
Okay, guys.
You won't get anything. so you don't sue us. We want to make it very clear. You will not get anything. But please,
No.
upload a picture of our
No,
latkes.
if you're on Flint, you can have Eitan's latkes from mail and drink some tap water, and you'll be perfectly fine.
Nice.
Guys, that is it. Have a happy Hanukkah.
Yes. Happy Hanukkah.
Watch for those lead dreidels because lead is toxic.
Yeah, you want to be careful. It's a dangerous time of year.
And check out our last year's Hanukkah donut rundown. We made
Yeah.
it. It's on our Facebook
Yeah.
page. Before we go,
Yes, before we go, we are sponsored by The Forward. Okay, The Forward's a great source of news, of opinion pieces, all through a Jewish lens. Go to forward.com/2NJB and get an exclusive offer for 2NJB listeners. Forward.com/2NJB. You get 67% off. You get 6 months for $10.
and that's how you show love and support for the show.
Yes.
Because that's how you do it.
That is. Because
Also,
we love when you support
us.
what we love.
IsraelNationalNews.com.
Yes.
Arutz Sheva. Check them out. They have great content in English about Israel from the Israeli perspective because they're located right here. So highly recommended. They're on Facebook and also Arutz Sheva, IsraelNationalNews.com. And
Yes.
last but not least,
AJN.timesofisrael.com, Australian Jewish News. Check them out on Australian perspective.
from the people who brought you,
Mel
Mel Gibson
Yes.
and
And
Chris
rugby.
and Chris something. All the Chris's.
Hebsworth.
Yes, and other Chris's too.
Yes, there were many Chris's. And the Kangaroos.
And Nicole Kidman.
And Nicole Kidman.
Yes,
And,
and prison settlements.
Yes, an entire continent.
And genocides of-
devoted no, they didn't bring that. Okay, they did. Okay, so anyway, AJN.timesofisrael.com. Check them out.
And that is it, guys. Thank you for
Oh,
tuning
no.
in.
If you
No.
wanna- Hey, throw us a shekel. I mean, a shekel. 2njb.com/donate. We do this on our free time. So if you want to help us out, 2njb.com/donate.
Thank you, guys. Have a happy Hanukkah. Stay safe. Get vaccinated.
And a Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas to those who Christmas.
Christmas. Those who Christmas.
Those
Christmas
who
is
Christmas.
a verb.
Yeah, okay.
Christmas.
That's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening. And see you on the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.